What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Happy Hydro YouTube channel. For all of you that don't know me, my name's Aaron. For everyone else that does, welcome back. I'm going to check out the SE-5000. That's from Spider Farmer, and we're going to do a little part test on it. We're going to get some DIY how to put it together tips, and pop it in the tent, see how it goes. What are we waiting for? Let's go check it out. So in this video, we are looking at that SE-5000 from Spider Farmer. We're gonna go into a part test, a quick kind of DIY how to put this light together, and just gonna showcase some of the features for you. So why delay the inevitable? Let's get into it. Well, look who just showed up. So this light does come technically apart. It's not one of those pre-built lights that you can just kind of hang and plug and play. There is a little bit of a DIY, if you will, to get this light up and running. It does have the bars separated and the ballast, but it's super easy to put together, and I'll be able to show you that in just a little bit. I'm just going to pop open this user manual just to be sure that we have everything we need to get this build underway. It is the SE-5000, so you should see all the parts listed. What we do have is some O-ring screws, some wing nut screws, some hanging ratchet straps, RJ14 cables. These little orange brackets are for your driver. You can either mount that to the light, or you can mount it outside the tent if you want to. Kind of helps with a little bit of environment control if it's running just a bit too hot. So let's start setting up. As you can probably see, this LED is a bar style light and comes with 6 detachable bars. All of those are jam-packed with 1,680 Samsung diodes. With all those diodes, it puts out a really strong full phase spectrum, which is going to allow you to take your plants all the way from veg to bloom. Well, let's start prepping to get this bad boy put together. As you can see in this scene, there's a couple different indicators. The downward triangle is where your bars are going to attach, and those little kind of balloon symbols is where those circle screws are going to go into, or ring screws. Kind of laid it out here for you to make it a little easier. I mean, I'm no engineer, but it's pretty important to make sure that these are lined up so you get even coverage, well-spaced bars, and there's no problem connecting those little connectors to those bars either. Let's start with the easy part. I'm going to take those circle rings and get those connected into the proper positions right by their little indicators. That's pretty much the place that you're going to hook up your light, and so you can hang it properly in your tent. Next are those downward triangle kind of symbols. Like I said, that's where your bars are going to go, and they're going to line up perfectly for you, and you're going to screw those in with those wing nuts. I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory, so I'll speed this up a little bit for you. And you're going to get that nice toy. Make sure you attach that other side, because last thing we want is your light to fall apart. So you're going to do the same thing and get that wing nut in there and screw it in nice and tight for you. And with a little bit of movie magic, I'm going to put this light together in no time. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical about these detachable bars that have to be individually hooked up, but I think it's kind of smart, because if one were to go down, you're not sacrificing your grow over a light. You can just detach one and make do with the rest of them while you get that replaced. So good looks, Spider Farmer, good looks. When it is fully assembled, the light measures about 34 inches by 34 inches by 3 inches. There's a little extra height due to those cords, but it's nothing crazy you can't work around. Next is the driver, the brains of the operation. It's already comes together. We're just going to put on these little brackets. If you want to clip it onto the light itself, you can kind of see little measurements on here. I went with the 183 millimeter, and that seemed to work just fine. And you're going to get those brackets to stay in place with these little white screw knobs, or whatever you want to call them. And that'll just get everything lined up for you and make it easy to pop on or get right off that light if you have to. All right, time to get this driver on the light, and we can get this big bad boy in a 10. Let's go check it out. It is all set up, turned on, and wow, look at this beauty. The light is water resistant and made with aluminum bars, so it helps with that heat dissipation as that passive cooling takes over. And also, since you can have the driver outside the tent, it really does kind of help control that environment a little bit for you. Spider Farmer boasts that this light is 480 watts, has a PPE of 2.75 micromoles per joule, a ppf of 1,333 micromoles per second, and is rated for a 4x4 personal grow. It does also weigh just around 25 pounds, so you don't have to worry about it putting too much stress on your grow tent. So we pop it in our 4x4 test tent to do a par test on it with our MQ620 from Apogee. We start off our test at a 12-inch hanging height at 20% power. This setting is mainly for veg in early flower, which you're going to do 16 to 18 hours on and 8 to 6 hours off. Another nice feature about this light, it does allow for daisy chaining and has a dimming switch attached to the driver that allows you to get these different percentages of power. Unlike other lights, it doesn't have set notches at like 20 or 40 or 60%, but you can dial it in a little bit more acutely to find that magic number you're looking for. Now that we're getting into 12 inches in height and about 80% power, we're looking at the mid-flower stage, where it's going to give enough of that light and energy to those plants, and you're a little bit further away, so it's not as close and kind of doing more damage than good at that point. So after we went all the way up to 100% at the 12-inch height, I'm going to drop this light down a little bit to the 8-inch hanging height. At 20% power, you can expect to see numbers around 240 to 250 in the middle. When you're starting to get to this height, you're looking at more mid to late flower, like I said, because your plants are soaking up more of that energy. As we move up in percentage, that's when you're going to see more of that late flower stage, and that's going to be able to get that plant all of that light nutrient that it needs to give you those big, robust plants and buds and flowers and all that good stuff. So at our 8 inches and 80% power, we're seeing numbers around 400, 300 on the sides, and going all the way up to about 900 or 1,000 in the middle. So at 8 inches and 100% power, you are definitely in that late flower stage. I'm seeing readings in the corners at around 400, on the sides from around 600 to 700, and in the middle all the way up to 1,400. And with that kind of light output, you could consider putting CO2 in that tent. I'm going to next use my kilowatt tool and see what this light draws at the wall. So at our 116, 120 volt outlet, we are looking at 4.1 amps and 479 watts. Well, thanks for joining me. Make sure we're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on, and until next time, stay happy, friends.